Sọ̀rọ̀ sókè ọlọ́mọ kọ́lé kí lórí. Òràwọ̀ rẹ̀ láyé mi. Mo ti rí orí oríṣẹ́ rẹ̀ láyé mi. Orí bí mo ti lẹ̀ kéré ó fà á tó bá mi. Ó ṣe wà lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ bí mo ti lẹ̀ kéré ó fà á tó bá mi. Ó ṣe olórí. Òràwọ̀ rẹ̀ láyé mi. Oríṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ó láyé mi. Sọ̀rọ̀ bí mo ti lẹ̀ kéré ó fà á tó bá mi. Ẹ ṣé olórí. Bí mo ti lẹ̀ kéré ó fà á tó bá mi. Ẹ ṣé olórí. Àwa ti rí. Ti lóhun tí wà bí ọ̀tá nínú jẹ́. Hallelujah tí kò fẹ́ gbọ́. Ó ti lóhun tí wà bí ọ̀tá nínú jẹ́. Hallelujah tí kò fẹ́ gbọ́. Ìṣe. Ó ti lọ bàbá. Ó ti lọ bàbá. Àwa Go, go, go.
Hello? Huh? Huh? Hello? Yeah. Good. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please hear request that we just try and settle down. The Vice Chancellor session is very close to the hall. And please, let's try and settle down. Please let's try and settle down. The Vice Chancellor session is already on their way. Please, again, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as the Vice Chancellor procession enters into the hall, let us all rise and remain standing. Please, shall we all rise? Please, Madam Celebrant. Please, shall we take the national anthem and AAUA anthem? Please, shall we have our seats? A very bright afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. And may I say that if this is your first visit to our university, I want to say on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and the good people of this university, you are most welcome to Adebule Ajashi University. Our university is a leadership development university where we build competent and confident graduates. Once again, you are most welcome. Today's inaugural lecture is titled, Let's use what's ours to solve of this university. You are most welcome to Adebule Ajashi University. Our university is a leadership development university where we build competent and confident graduates. Once again, you are most welcome. Today's inaugural lecture is titled, Let's use what's ours by Professor of English Language and Applied English Linguistics. He's Professor Uriel. Let's give him a good hand, please. Professor Okunrinmeta has held many positions within the university and outside as well. And may I also add that Professor Okunrinmeta is the current dean of the Faculty of Arts. Please, let's give him a good hand too. Distinguished principal officers, deans, directors, professors, it is my honor once again to welcome you to the 5th edition of our inaugural lecture. At this juncture, let me invite the chairman of this occasion, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Olubenga, to the microphone as he presents the 35th inaugural lecture. Professor Uriel, Okunrinmeta, Mr. VC, sir.
Thank you. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Registrar, Bossa, Distinguished University Librarian, Deans of Faculties, Heads of Departments, the distinguished professors, the assisted KBC, Chief and High Chief, men of God, the inaugural lecturer, Professor Uriel, members of his family, friends, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, greatest Nigeria students, greatest Nigeria students, it is with immense delight that I welcome you all to the 35th inaugural lecture of our university, Adekunle Ajashi University, Akoko. This academic tradition not only celebrates intellectual accomplishments, but also provides an invaluable platform for the dissemination of groundbreaking ideas that contribute to knowledge and societal advancement. Today, we have the honor of gathering to recognize Professor Uriel Okunrinmeta, a distinguished scholar in English language and applied English linguistics. Contributions to the faith have been nothing short of exemplary and his academic journey stands as a testament to dedication, perseverance, and excellence. Title of his inaugural lecture: Let's use what's asked to solve our own problems. Adopting an endocentric English model in schools. First, the importance of embracing indigenous linguistic frameworks to enhance education and drive national development. Professor Okunrinmeta earned a B.Ed. Honors in Education and English from the then Ondo State University, Ado-Ekiti, in 1992, followed by a Master of Arts degree, University of Lagos in 1997, and in 2010 obtained a PhD in English language from the University of Lagos. Since joining leadership positions within and outside the university, serving as Dean of Faculty, Sub-Dean of the Faculty of Arts Journal through Publications Committee, Editor-in-Chief of University Representative at the NUC, Capacity Building Workshop on CC Mass Implementation, and currently the Dean, Faculty of Arts. His scholarly contributions are as extensive as they are impactful. Professor Okunrinmeta is the author of the widely read book, Transnational Affiliation, reflects deep engagement with linguistic scholarship. He's a member of the English Scholars Association of Nigeria, the International Association for World English, and the Nigerian Academy of Letters. His scholarly excellence has also been recognized through the Technical Research Projects International Award in 2016. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today's lecture is a celebration of intellectual dedication. Institutions in this country, including Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, University of Ilorin, including 2 PhD holders. A global scholar, he has participated in numerous conferences across the United States, India, Turkey, and the Philippines. He also served
deans of other faculties and student affairs, directors and heads of department, professors and other distinguished members of Senate, royal fathers, other categories of university staff, special guests, family members, friends of the university, great AAUA students, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I give glory to God for giving me the grace to present today's inaugural lecture, which is the 35th in Adekunle University. Without God, this would not have been possible. I also want to use this opportunity to thank the Vice Chancellor very specially for appointing me a professor and for approving the date of this inaugural lecture. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to start this inaugural lecture by sharing my experiences, especially those that relate to my educational journey. primary education. My mother was a businesswoman who had to travel frequently. I had to go with her on each of these trips because, as the only child, there was no one else to take care of me. I was so affected by these frequent business trips, I repeated a class twice. But one thing that kept me going in the face of these destabilizing experiences was always travel with my books and school uniform. Also, I always recited the poems and glossary that my class teacher taught us in school. Pikati, my black hair. She lays eggs for gentlemen. Sometimes 9 and sometimes 10. In the Zon language, Pikati, and English moving. Who are whenever we travel to towns and villages where my mother transacted her businesses, the inhabitants would say, "The boy is wrong. Please bring him. Let him come and read those things he always reads." They then gathered to listen to me. And on several occasions, they gave me money, 1 kobo, just to encourage me. However, by the grace of God, I was able to complete my primary education in an early primary school, Aro, in spite of the prevailing destabilizing challenges, and got admitted to the Junior National High School, Aro. At the Junior National High School, I had another challenge that almost threw me out of school. My friend and I were sitting at the corner in one of the streets in Aro. I saw the principal of my school, Honorable AAUA, walking towards us. When he got to the point where we were sitting, I said in a very low tone, "Hello, Mr. Principal." He pretended as if he did not hear what I said and walked away. After a few minutes, he came back. This time he decided to come close to the side of the road where we were sitting. He was so close that he was able to recognize me when I repeated what I said earlier. "Hello, Mr. Principal." His response was frightening. "Uriel, are you the one doing this nonsense?" Okay. I knew the implication of that because Honorable AAUA was a strict disciplinarian. I knew that I was in trouble, so I started begging. I made up my mind not to go back to that school if the issue was not resolved. But as God had it, 2 of my teachers went to him to plead on my behalf, so he forgave me. Another challenge came up when I was admitted to then University to read English. My father said that he would not sponsor me if I did not read law, because that was his desire for me. It was my eldest brother sitting there, the GOC of my father's mechanized battalion, that convinced him to change that position. Today, by the grace of God, I am a professor of English language and applied English linguistics. Unfortunately, my father is no longer alive to witness what God is going through me today. May his soul rest in peace. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to make a few comments on the title, "Let's use what's ours to solve our own problems." adopting an Anglo-centric English model in schools. The choice of this title was informed by the language provisions made in the national policy, in the National Language Policy 2022 for the effective delivery of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM education policy in Nigerian schools. STEM was developed in Nigeria in 2018 to make education more responsive and relevant to the needs of the Nigerian people in today's technology-driven 21st century world. This was necessary because the school curriculum, which was designed in the 20 development aspirations of Nigeria as a young sovereign nation, had become obsolete and would no longer provide effective solutions to the challenges of today's world. STEM was therefore designed to equip students with the relevant skills required to solve problems and thus contribute to national development. There was, however, the need to incorporate the arts into the STEM mix so as to provide a well-rounded and thorough approach to education. The idea is that human problems are not only technological or scientific, but are also humanistic in nature. For example, the problem of corruption or kidnapping in Nigeria is humanistic and thus cannot be solved merely by scientific inventions, but through ideological restructuring and cultural reorientation. For our students to become all-round problem solvers, therefore, there is a need to adopt a unique multidisciplinary learning approach that deploys and integrates science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, STEAM, so as to provide them with a holistic learning experience that fosters creativity and innovation, develops critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and encourages collaboration and teamwork, especially through effective communication skills. Not only that, there is a need to complement the global knowledge of science and technology with the local knowledge derivable from Nigeria's indigenous knowledge systems to make education more suitable and responsive to the needs of the Nigerian people. The inclusion of the arts in the STEM mix therefore makes it possible for the integration of the indigenous knowledge systems, which are very important for strengthening the local content in our school curriculum. In an attempt to facilitate the effective delivery of STEM, now STEAM, at various levels of education, specific policy provisions were made in the National Language Policy in relation to the languages to be used as medium of instruction. For example, the National Language Policy states that the mother tongue or language of the immediate community shall be used as the medium of instruction from early childhood care and development education to the 6 years of primary education, page 17. However, at the junior and senior secondary education levels, the policy stipulates that English shall be used as the language of instruction, pages 18 and 19. If the essence of STEAM is to provide a well-rounded and thorough education that is made more relevant to the local needs of the Nigerian people through the infusion of local content into the school curriculum, then the most effective mode of delivery, particularly at the basic and post-basic education levels, should be the indigenous languages, because they are the carriers of the culture within which the indigenous knowledge systems in the curriculum are situated. This is what is done in most technologically developed countries of the world. In China, Japan, South Korea, and many others where STEAM is adopted, it is indigenous languages that are used as medium of instruction. In Nigeria's national language policy, however, the use of indigenous languages as medium of instruction ends in primary 6. Thus, from the junior secondary education level upwards, English takes over as the language of instruction. The question to ask at this point is, which model of English can best serve as an effective medium of instruction in the context of Nigeria's STEM education? Is it the foreign British English model that is currently used in Nigerian schools, or an ethnocentric, homegrown model that has the capacity to reflect and express effectively the local content infused into Nigeria's school curriculum? My position here is that British English lacks the capacity to reflect the cultural content in the school curriculum. Thus, in order to facilitate the effective teaching of STEAM in schools, an ethnocentric English model should be adopted. This is based on the premise that if the role of indigenous languages as medium of instruction stops in primary 6, and English is assigned that role from the junior secondary school level, the model of English to be used should be able to reflect and express effectively the concepts and experiences that indigenous languages are capable of expressing. This is where an ethnocentric model, embellished with the local touch of the Nigerian languages and cultures, becomes relevant. This ethnocentric model is what is referred to as standard Nigerian English, our own homegrown variety of English that wears a distinctive Nigerian cultural cap adorned with beautiful feathers of various metaphorically illuminating colors reflecting various aspects of Nigeria's cultural life. Okunrinmeta 2015. Spread of English across the world. English has today become a global language with a total population of 1.456 billion speakers. English has today become the most widely spoken language in the world, with Mandarin Chinese, Hindi, Spanish, and French occupying the second, third, fourth, and fifth positions respectively. Eberhard Simon Safini, 2023. As a global language, English plays one special role or the other in several countries of the world. In such countries as the United States of America and the United Kingdom, it plays the role of the mother tongue. In several other countries, including the former colonies of Britain, in Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean, English plays the role of the second language and is in most cases assigned an official status. Today, English has this special status of official language in over 17 countries. In countries where English does not play the role of an official language, it serves as a foreign language through which specialized activities, e.g. in business, diplomacy, science and technology, tourism, etc. are conducted. And thus, its teaching is prioritized in schools. Today, it is taught as a foreign language in over 100 countries, owing to its increasing global importance in facilitating effective international communication, accessing expertise in specialized fields, and enhancing employability in multinational firms, among others. As it stands today, there is no continent of the world where English is not used. Even in Antarctica, where there is no permanent human population, there is a variety of English called Antarctic English since 2000, which features prominently as the language of scientific research. This global spread of English was facilitated by two major factors. the expansion of British spheres of influence through colonization and empire building in the 16th and 17th centuries, and the emergence of the United States as the dominant economic and technological superpower of the 20th century. Crystal 2003. Nigerian English as a component of world Englishes. Owing to its global spread, English began to be spoken in various contexts where it was originally unknown, and this led to the emergence of various forms of English in various parts of the world. With this global spread also came the need to describe and analyze the emergent Englishes. This therefore gave rise to the concept of world Englishes, pioneered particularly by Prof. a renowned Indian linguist and cultural crusader. Katru, in an attempt to describe the global spread of English according to users, patterns of acquisition, and the functional domains in which English is used across cultures and languages, divided the world into three concentric circles: the inner circle, the outer circle, and the expanding circle. Katru, 1985, page 12. The inner circle represents the varieties in such countries as the United Kingdom and the United States, where English is the native language. The outer circle, on the other hand, describes the varieties in countries where English became an official second language as a result of colonization, in Nigeria, India, and Bahamas, while the expanding circle represents the countries where English is taught as a foreign language, e.g. China, Algeria, Russia, and Brazil. These three Katruvian concentric circles suggest that English has gone beyond the confines of the native English culture to accommodate various multicultural contexts, which, as it should be expected, are different from what obtains in the native English cultural setting. Okunrinmeta 2009b. This further suggests that English as a pluricentric language has several varieties spread across the world, and that all these varieties, whether native or non-native, are legitimate dialects of the language because their speakers use them to communicate effectively in their own peculiar contexts of use. Nigerian English. Nigerian English is a regional variety of English which, as a vital component of world Englishes, shares common core features with other varieties of English worldwide. However, it has also developed some identifiable features that distinguish it from other regional varieties, especially in terms of pronunciation, syntax, and lexical semantics. Okunrinmeta 2017c. Okoro 2004 notes that these features result in standard and non-standard usages, and that their frequency of occurrence in the English of every Nigerian speaker varies according to his level of competence in language. But as observed by General 1979, Evan 1989, and Okoro 2004, only the standard usages, which represent standard Nigerian English, serve as model of English usage in Nigeria, and thus recommend teaching in schools. Which Nigerian English forms should we teach? Considering the fact that the features of Nigerian English reflect both standard and non-standard usages, it is necessary to examine them so as to determine those that are qualified for inclusion in the proposed ethnocentric English model. To achieve this, Okunrinmeta 2011, Okunrinmeta 2013A, and Okunrinmeta 2017C conducted acceptability tests on selected Nigerian usages, using acceptability and intelligibility as criteria, so as to provide the basis for the inclusion or non-inclusion in the model. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to present just a few of these Nigerian usages at the phonetic, phonological, syntactic, and lexical semantic levels owing to time constraints. Phonetic, phonological level. A handful of studies are focused on the phonetics or phonological features of Nigerian English. Adefugo, 1987, Awodisi, 1987, Udofort, 2004, Okunrinmeta, 2008C, Okunrinmeta, 2009A, Okunrinmeta, 2007C, and Okunrinmeta, 2023A. Some of the features are categorized in groups and examined below so as to ascertain if they are qualified for inclusion in the model or not. Group A, monophthongization of A and L as A and O, e.g. gate, gate and goat for British English, gate and goat respectively. Two, stressing the final syllable of words ending in ATE, ISE, or IFY, e.g. congratulate, monetize, solidify, as against British English, congratulate, monetize, and solidify. Group B, the substitution of all for e.g. born, as against British English, burn. Two, the substitution of and for and there, respectively, e.g. tog instead of third, and worthy instead of worthy. Considering the fact that the Nigerian setting, where English is learned and spoken as a second language, is different from the native English setting, and thus the impracticability of speaking the language exactly the way the native speakers do, the Nigerian English forms in Group A are considered qualified for inclusion in the proposed model, not only on account of their high frequency of occurrence in educated Nigerian English pronunciation, but also on account of their prospects for intelligibility even at the international level. Those in B, on the other hand, are non-standard and thus cannot be considered for inclusion in the model, either because they do not occur in the English of the majority of educated speakers, or because they are capable of impeding in intelligibility. Okunrinmeta 2017C. Syntactic level. A few studies, including Uriel in 1985, Jowitt 1991, Okunrinmeta 2010, Okunrinmeta 2011, and Okunrinmeta 2013A, have focused on the syntax of Nigerian English. The general view expressed in these studies is that although Nigerian English syntax shares lots of common core features with other varieties of English, it has, owing to the peculiar nature of the Nigerian linguistic and social-cultural situation, developed a few identifiable local Nigerian features that mark it out, especially from British English. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, let us consider the syntactic features in A and B so as to provide the basis for their inclusion or non-inclusion in the model. Group A, 1. The use of substantive verbs as here and see as dynamic verbs. E.g., excuse me, sir, we are not hearing you. 2. The occurrence of the first person before the third person in a compound subject NP. Compound subject now phrase. E.g., I and my brother will come. As against my brother and I will come in British English. Group B, using the base form of a verb even when the subject is in the third person singular. 2, treating some irregular verbs like regular verbs, e.g. minded instead of bound. and grounded instead of ground. Although the syntactic features in A are different from what occurs, especially in British English, they can be accepted and treated as permissible local variations within the Nigerian context for various reasons. One, they are appropriate within the Nigerian context because they reflect what happens in the Nigerian languages. And thus the references to Nigerians have similar structures in the Nigerian languages. Two, they are not ungrammatical, since they do not violate any serious syntactic rule in English, but merely reflect a departure from the preferences given certain structures in some native English contexts. Three, they are intelligible, especially within the Nigerian setting. In fact, some of them provide additional context to the English language by reflecting the full range of meaning that the equivalents in the Nigerian languages are capable of expressing. Four, they occur frequently in the English of the majority of educated Nigerian English speakers. Besides, some of them are similar to some American English variations that are today accepted as standard usage both within and outside the American setting. Since the features in Group A are not ungrammatical, but merely different from the preferred forms in British English, they should be considered as standard usages of Okunrinmeta 2011, Okunrinmeta 2013A, and thus qualify for inclusion in the model. However, those in Group B are non-standard and should not be included in the model, not only because of their gross violation of the rules of English syntax, but also because they do not enjoy widespread usage among educated Nigerians. For the evidence, please read that section of the book. The examples are there. Lexicosemantic level. Since the Nigerian setting is different from the native British setting, it is normal for Nigerian English to show some local Nigerian coloration at the lexicosemantic level so as to reflect the various linguistic and cultural contexts English must accommodate and express in the Nigerian setting. This local coloration has been manifested in the innovative creation of new lexical items to reflect the peculiar Nigerian experiences, extension of the semantic range of existing lexical items in English to cover new Nigerian contexts, and idiomatic usage. Okunrinmeta 2008 6A, 2008A, 2008B, 2009B, 2012, 2013B, 2014, 2015, and 2017C. Owing to constraints in terms of space and time, let's look at just a few examples. In Group A, we have coinages, where we have fathers through mothers of the day. Important father-like or mother-like figures, especially on a wedding occasion. Son of the soil, the freeborn of a particular town or community, etc. Semantic extensions. Monetize, that is, to pay money instead of some other job entitlements. In addition to the British English context, where it is used in a technical sense to mean to change government bonds and debts into money. The second one is zoning. Here in Nigeria, it means a political arrangement where particular political positions are shared out to specific areas ahead of election. But in British English, it means a system of choosing areas to be developed for particular purposes when planning a town, etc. Idiomatic usage, true son of one's father, used to refer to a person who arrives when something concerning him is being discussed. Turn someone's eyes and ears away from his people. That means to use magical powers to make someone not to cater for his people or even to listen to whatever they say. Now in Group B, we have so many of them. We have cunning, used in the context of cunning, clever and good at deceiving people, dishonest. They are sweet, used in the context of tasty or delicious. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the usages in Group A are appropriate for inclusion in the proposed model because they reflect the Nigerian linguistic and socio-cultural experience. Besides, they occur frequently in the English usage of the majority of educated Nigerians. They are also intelligible, especially within the Nigerian socio-cultural setting. The usages in Group B, on the other hand, are non-standard and thus inappropriate for inclusion in the model on the basis that they do not enjoy widespread occurrence in an educated Nigerian English usage of Okunrinmeta 2017C. Besides, some of them, e.g. cunning and sweet, are capable of posing some intelligibility problems even within the Nigerian setting. Now adopting standard Nigerian English as an end-centric model in schools. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, there has been a steady decline in the performance of students in the English language, especially in public examinations in Nigeria in recent years. Mohammed 1995, 2010. Generally, this poor performance has been praised for various factors. But Okunrinmeta 2014 traced it to the sole use of British English for teaching and evaluation purposes, thereby making examiners give recognition to British English forms alone, and thus treat all Nigerian English forms as errors that must be marked wrong. Thus, in order to improve students' performance in the language and facilitate cultural relevance, Okunrinmeta 2017C advocates that standard Nigerian English be adopted as a substitute for British English. The adoption of standard Nigerian English becomes necessary and even more urgent now than before because Nigeria's STEAM education requires for its effective delivery an end-centric English model capable of effectively reflecting and expressing the cultural content in the school curriculum. Based on the fact that British English as a foreign English model lacks the cultural capacity to perform this function effectively in Nigeria's socio-cultural setting, it is necessary to adopt the homegrown, culturally rich, standard Nigerian English model so as to facilitate the effective teaching of STEAM in Nigerian schools. Justification for the adoption of standard Nigerian English. The advocacy for the adoption of standard Nigerian English in schools is predicated on four major considerations. One, the cultural relevance of standard Nigerian English, and thus its usefulness in the effective teaching of the local cultural content in the STEM curriculum in schools, make it a better and more suitable medium of instruction and evaluation than the foreign British English model currently used. This position finds support in the views of Trippins 1980, who observed that in ESL areas where local forms are developed, it is these forms which constitute the most suitable models for use in schools, certainly more suitable than British or American L1 model, page 90. Gazi 2004 also supports this position by saying that standard Nigerian English is more appropriate to the Nigerian situation than British English and its foreign culture-based house which because of their exclusive concentration on native English culture are today found to be grossly unsuitable for educational purposes on account of their cultural inappropriations. Two, the Nigerian cultural setting is different from the native English setting, where the British variety operates, and thus the need to adopt standard Nigerian English as a substitute for British English to facilitate the effective delivery of the local content in the STEAM curriculum and enhance better learning outcomes in Nigerian schools. Three, although the variety of English officially recommended for teaching in schools is British English, the variety used for this purpose in the Nigerian classroom is in practice different from British English. This is so because, apart from the fact that English as a second language in Nigeria is bound to accommodate various peculiar Nigerian experiences, and thus must incorporate the various Nigerian English forms which reflect and express them, the language is taught by Nigerians who are themselves non-native speakers and cannot therefore speak or teach the language exactly the way it is done in such a native context as Britain. In fact, the teachers of English in Nigeria speak Nigerian English, not British English. And thus, there is no way they can teach what they do not speak. Yes, that is what all of us here speak. All of us. Yes. 4. The publication of detailed Nigerian dictionaries and the Nigerian component of the International Corpus of English, Nigeria, point to the extent to which the efforts made towards the codification of the features of Nigerian English have become successful. And thus, the issue of non-codification, which had in the past within the possible push for the adoption of standard Nigerian English schools, is now gradually laid to rest. Okunrinmeta 2014, Okunrinmeta 2017. What are the prospects of adopting standard Nigerian English in Nigerian schools? 1. The adoption of standard Nigerian English has the prospect of facilitating communicative appropriateness in the use of English within the Nigerian cultural context, owing to its cultural relevance, which enables it to reflect and express the Nigerian cultural experience effectively. Bearing in mind that appropriate language use is largely dependent on the socio-cultural milieu within which language is used, Okunrinmeta 2015, the SNE forms recommended for inclusion in the model are considered appropriate because they are used in line with the Nigerian culture. Thus, their teaching in schools will enable learners to be exposed to the English language, not exactly as it is prescribed in the dictionary compiled by Britons and Americans who do not know or appreciate the context which the Nigerian culture creates for the language in the Nigerian setting, but as it is actually used by Nigerians to suit local conditions, express local experiences, and cater for the local needs of the local Nigerian environs. The adoption of standard Nigerian English schools is therefore the right step that should be taken not only towards satisfying the yearning of Nigerians for communicative appropriateness in English, but also towards ensuring the effective teaching of the local cultural content in the STEM curriculum in schools. Besides, its adoption has the merit of making the teaching, learning of English in the Nigerian classroom easier, more practical, and therefore more refreshing. This is so because Nigerian English reflects the linguistic and socio-cultural experiences of learners, and thus appeals to their sensibilities and interests more forcefully than British English, which, as a foreign model, expresses a foreign culture about which they know little or nothing. This position finds support in the evidence provided by studies in the IFES year primary project, which show that when learners are taught in a medium whose concepts reflect their culture, they stand a better chance of performing well linguistically and academically. Apollon 1976, Fafua, Macaulay, and Shokoya 1989. Adapting this view to the context of Nigeria's STEM education, standard Nigerian English is more supportive to the Nigerian learners, owing to its ability to appropriately reflect the Nigerian experience, and thus it is a surer gateway to improve performance in the language than the foreign British model. Recommendations. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the following recommendations are germane to the effective implementation of STEAM and the seamless adoption of standard Nigerian English as an ethnocentric model in schools. 1. Government and all other stakeholders must show total commitment to the successful implementation of the STEAM education policy. I learned that recently the government is making a move to reverse the mother tongue education policy, which is an important aspect of the provisions in the national language policy for the effective delivery of STEAM. This move must be resisted, as it will have grave consequences, not only on our education system, but also on our development as a nation. 2. For the effective delivery of the local content in the STEAM curriculum, the Nigerian languages, and our own homegrown and ethnocentric English model should be used as a medium of instruction, since they have the capacity to effectively reflect and express the Nigerian culture from which this local content was sourced. 3. More emphasis should be placed on cultural education to facilitate the acquisition of the relevant cultural knowledge required not only to enhance creativity and also to aid the proper application of our indigenous knowledge systems to the solution of problems in real-life situations. Look at my left leg here. When I was younger, it got broken in 3 places. Broken in 3 places. But my grandfather's younger brother had to treat it. Today, I can walk with it, I can jump with it, I can run with it, I can play football with it. None of you here can notice that it had a problem before. It is the power of our culture. So we need to get this knowledge so that we can use it to solve our local problems. Number 4, Nigerian English dictionaries should be revised and expanded to include a considerable number of standard Nigerian English usages that can be referenced for pedagogical purposes. You know, the use of standard Nigerian English was discouraged because there was no document that teachers and learners can make reference to in the course of teaching and learning. But if that is done now, it can be adopted effectively. Now 5, existing textbooks should be revised so as to infuse into them the required local content that will make them more relevant to the Nigerian situation. Challenges arising from the negative attitudes towards Nigerian expressions should be urgently addressed. A massive awareness campaign on the relationship between language and culture in the Nigerian setting should be launched. And finally, 8, there is the need for government recognition of and support for standard Nigerian English, especially in the form of policy backing. Conclusion. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, for the local content in the STEAM curriculum to be taught effectively, the best medium of instruction, particularly at the basic and post-basic education levels, should be the Nigerian languages. However, if English was served as the medium of instruction from the lower secondary school level upwards, then the model that can best serve this purpose in the context of Nigeria's STEAM education is the one that has the capacity to reflect and express the local content infused into the curriculum. This model is certainly not British English, since it lacks the required cultural capacity to do so. Thus, an ethnocentric homegrown model, standard Nigerian English, is proposed on the basis that, owing to its cultural relevance and appropriateness within the Nigerian socio-cultural context, it has the capacity to reflect and express quite effectively the various concepts and experiences that are peculiar to the Nigerian setting. There is, however, the need to complement this endocentric English model with the Nigerian languages for STEAM to achieve the most desired results. This is so because there are some domains which require exclusively the deployment of the Nigerian languages. For example, in traditional healing, where the chanting of incantations is required, the use of the Nigerian languages becomes necessary, since the efficacy of such incantations depends on precision and accuracy in rendition. Thus, if the proposed endocentric English model and the Nigerian languages are used to complement each other in the Nigerian STEAM classroom, the outcomes will be quite amazing. On a final note, let's use what's ours to solve our own problems. The indigenous knowledge systems infused into the STEAM curriculum to strengthen its local content are ours because they constitute an integral part of our indigenous cultural practices and can therefore be positively tapped for our development as a nation. The endocentric English model recommended to serve as medium for the effective delivery of STEAM at the secondary school level is also ours because, just like the Nigerian languages, it reflects and expresses our own culture and can therefore be used to teach effectively the local content in the STEAM curriculum in order to promote Nigeria's development aspirations. I have the conviction that if our own homegrown English model is adopted, it will be more effective than a foreign model in aiding STEAM to provide relevant skills required to provide solutions to our local problems. And Nigeria, our country, will be better for it. My contributions to the extension of the frontiers of knowledge. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, in my 24 years of service as an academic, I have made tremendous contributions to the extension of the frontiers of knowledge in various areas of language study, including applied linguistics, social linguistics, world Englishes from Nigerian English studies, and cultural studies. In the area of applied linguistics, I have made significant contributions to second language teaching in relation to pronunciation of Okunrinmeta 2008C, Okunrinmeta 2009A, Okunrinmeta 2013D. Syntax of Okunrinmeta 2004, Okunrinmeta 2013C. And generally on how various socioeconomic variables relating to students' home backgrounds could be manipulated to enhance their performance in English. Okunrinmeta 2006B. I have also made significant contributions to knowledge in the area of social linguistics. Okunrinmeta 2008A, Okunrinmeta 2008B, Okunrinmeta 2013B, Okunrinmeta 2017A, and Okunrinmeta 2017B focus on the various consequences of bilingualism in Nigeria's language contact situation and how they could be utilized to achieve various communicative goals in various domains of use, including interpersonal communication, literary writing, and religious worship, among others. My research has also focused on the language attitudes and preferences of Nigerians and their implications for national integration in particular and national development generally. Adebite and Okunrinmeta 2016, Okunrinmeta and Adebite 2024. Another area to which my research has made significant contributions is cultural studies. I have been able to demonstrate the relevance of culture to communicative appropriateness in English, Okunrinmeta 2015, and even to the solution of societal problems, e.g. the menace of corruption in Nigeria, Okunrinmeta and Alabi 2014. One other major area in which I have contributed significantly to knowledge is in the area of world Englishes stroke Nigerian English studies. My research in this area of study is significant in creating a solid theoretical basis for the legitimacy and appropriateness of Nigerian English, Okunrinmeta 2006a, providing useful insights into the concept of Nigerian English and enlightening its features, Okunrinmeta 2011, Okunrinmeta 2013a, Okunrinmeta 2014, Okunrinmeta 2017c. And highlighting and advocating the adoption of standard Nigerian English in schools, Okunrinmeta 2014 and Okunrinmeta 2017c. My research also brought to the fore a high level of creativity displayed by Nigerians domesticating the English language to reflect the Nigerian social-cultural experience both in speech and in writing. Okunrinmeta 2009, Okunrinmeta 2012, Okunrinmeta 2013, Okunrinmeta 2015, and Okunrinmeta 2016. I have also made some contributions in terms of textbook writing. Okunrinmeta 2023a, for example, is a textbook on English pronunciation which provides useful guides to the learners of English as a second language in Nigeria. My Oga there, Professor Yebade, made a very good, did a very good job in this regard. Spoken English for Nigerian students. Similarly, Okunrinmeta and Kekai 2023 is an edited textbook written to provide relevant course materials to support effective teaching and learning of use of English in tertiary institutions. Finally, as chapter contributions in textbooks on English language teaching, I also have, to my credit, Okunrinmeta 2007A, 2007B, 2007C, 2007D, 2007E, 2007F, 2007G, 2007H, 2007I, 2007J, 2007K, 2007L, 2007M, 2023B, and 2023C. My contributions to capacity building. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I'm glad to say that I've made some modest contributions to capacity building in the course of my career as an academic. To start with, I've supervised and mentored over 300 undergraduate students. I've also supervised successfully many postgraduate students, both at the PhD and MA level. I'm delighted to announce that several of the students I supervised and mentored now reside and work in various countries across the world, and they are doing excellently well in their chosen careers. In terms of providing academic leadership, by way of mentoring younger colleagues, I have done the little I could to enhance capacity building. Quite often I provide for them the necessary guidance, assistance, and support on various academic and non-academic issues relevant to their advancement career-wise. I've also served as external examiner for postgraduate students as well as assessor for academics for professorial positions in various institutions of higher learning. Acknowledgements. For me to be alive to present this inaugural lecture today, I give the Almighty God all the glory. He is my fortress and my rock, the protector of my life and the defender of my cause. He alone is worthy of my praise. I will be eternally grateful to my parents, late Pa Samuel and Mimode Okunrinmeta, and late Mrs. Comfort Akoro Babilopate Okunrinmeta, for bringing me to life and raising me to become the man that I am today. Although you are no longer with me on earth, the values you instilled in me always keep my head up, even in the face of challenges. May your souls continue to rest in peace. To the Vice Chancellor, Professor Olubenga E.E., I am very, very grateful. I became a professor in 2017 during your tenure. I am also serving as the Dean of the Faculty of Arts under you. Thank you for your support and encouragement. My profound gratitude goes to all the principal officers of our great university. God bless you all. I hereby express my sincere appreciation to the distinguished members of the University Senate. I thank all the deans for their support. All other distinguished members of our vibrant Senate, professors, directors, and heads of the department are sincerely appreciated. All professors and heads of the department in the Faculty of Arts are deeply appreciated by indefatigable subjects, Dr. S.A. Okunrinmeta and Dr. O.R. Adeshi. I thank you specially for your support. I must confess that you made my job as the Dean of Arts very, very easy. I want to use this opportunity to thank very sincerely all other academics in the Faculty of Arts. Without your support and cooperation, I would not have gone this far. Thank you so much. My faculty officer, the apholistic apholysis, Mrs. O.P. Adebayo, and all administrative and technical staff in the faculty office, thank you so much for making the Dean's office convenient for me to work. You are a very wonderful set of people. I also appreciate the support and cooperation of the administrative and technical staff in all the 6 departments in the Faculty of Arts. God bless you. I owe all the members of the Department of English Studies a huge debt of gratitude. Thank you for your support and encouragement. You are all sincerely appreciated. There is someone whose efforts I must appreciate in a special way. Late Dr. Z.A. Adejumo, the pioneer head of the Department of English Studies. He was my teacher, my mentor, and my pillar of support. He will be eternally remembered for his good works. My thanks go to all my teachers in early primary school Arugo, Ijoy National High School Arugo, Ondo State University Adoekiti, and University of Lagos for providing the sound training that equipped me with the relevant skills and tools which enable me to function effectively as a professor of English language and applied linguistics. I want to use this opportunity to thank my supervisors, both at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels, Professor Mrs. T.O. Woman, B.Ed Project Supervisor, Dr. D.I. Egbe, M.A. Supervisor, Professor Oko Okoro, Dr. D.I. Egbe, and Dr. J.B. Oshoba, first, second, and third PhD supervisors, respectively. I want to appreciate very especially my royal fathers, His Imperial Majesty, Perez Z.D. Egbunu, Opukutu III, the Agadaba of Arogwejo Kingdom. He is ably represented by a distinguished High Chief here, High Chief Japhet Brinimofa. Please stand for recognition. I also appreciate His Imperial Majesty, Obadikin Professor S.A. Mushia, Lawe II, the Kalaswe of Apoiland, and also His Royal Highness, Oba Stephen Olorutele Oguode, the Olushi of Walushi, the Warok. I must also thank High Chief Thompson Edu, the Babunu of Arogwejo Kingdom, High Chief Japhet Gorori, the Agwo of Agwobri, High Chief Kingsley Ame, the Nana of Agwobri, and High Chief Honorable Dr. Felix George, the Kelly of Erubiri, for their support. My profound gratitude goes to my classmates at the National High School, Arogo. Mr. Elijah Bebu, FCA, Honorable Donald Jogo, Mr. Tobokede Kebeke, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Honorable Fidelis Soriwe, Mr. Godfrey Soriwe, CSP, and his Lordship, John D. Jambo, among others. I'm also grateful to my mates at Ondo State University, Edu Class 92 and ELS Class 92 for their support and encouragement. God bless you all. I especially recognize and thank all members of the Professor of Okunrinmeta Inaugural Lecture Planning Group for the significant role they played in ensuring the success of this event. I appreciate your support, both financially and logistically. God bless you. Many thanks to the Professor of Okunrinmeta Inaugural Lecture Committee, which was co-chaired by Dr. O.R. Adeshi, my sub-in, and Engineer Raphael Yaya. You are wonderful people. God bless you. The members of the following units, parts from departments, are all specially appreciated for their support. IPRU, ISAC, Security, Web Services. Thank you so much. My students in the departments of English Studies, Arts Education, and Performing Arts, as well as those in the Faculty of Arts generally. I appreciate you. May God always keep and protect you. I want to thank very especially the members of my church, Guardian of Comfort, Agbalaitu, Eshe, Kareko, for your prayers and support. Hallelujah. I'm very grateful. I'm highly indebted to all my family members and friends who stood by me in all circumstances. Your unwavering support is what strengthens me and keeps me going, even in the face of challenges. Thank you, Mr. Timira Jackson of Okunrinmeta. Mr. E.D. Emihonte of Okunrinmeta stand for recognition. That is the GOC of my father's mechanized battalion. Mr. Ekoi Kimo of Okunrinmeta CSP and my younger brothers, Bawe, Nimi, and Tamaraki, among others, too numerous to mention. I am also grateful to the following relations and friends for their support. I Chief N.K. Tunyai, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Honorable Dr. Kingsley Kuku, Professor D.G. Moro, Honorable Kennedy Perete, High Chief Honorable Bimobowe Molos, Chairman SL Local Government Council, Mr. Shedrack Upangere, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Barrister Solomon Tunyai, Mr. Claude Mike Subjo, Mr. Banks Wodemegbe, West Coast House, Barrister Pere Eric Yayabini, Mr. Tamarani Abudu, Barrister Barakmo Pemi, and his lovely wife, Honorable Justice Ojusfisinte Justina Pemi, and my secondary school mate, who created time to attend this inaugural lecture, Mr. Daniel Tonibo. God bless you all. I am grateful to you for your support. You are indeed an uncle worth more than 1 million uncles. To all my in-laws, I'm sincerely grateful. Chief Rotimi Williams Okorobo, Mr. Toboke Ododomo, Mr. Fungewo Ododomo, and Mr. Solomon Webe Ododomo, you are specially recognized. God bless you. To my wonderful children, Charles Tamarebi of Okunrinmeta, Marvelous Peremo Bowe of Okunrinmeta, and the 3 adorable jewels, Toboke Kimi, Toboke Pere, and Tobacco. And my pet daughter there, and Arike Ade. I appreciate you. I love and cherish you. God bless you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to appreciate one very special person in my life. Yetare mababwa, yetare, hey, yetare mababwa, yetare, oh, yetare mababwa, yetare, hey, yetare mababwa, yetare. My darling wife, my jewel of inestimable value, my pillar of support, my ever-available companion and confidant, the one that gladdens my heart and gives me peace of mind, Mrs. Uriel Okunrinmeta. I will be forever grateful to you. Thank you for putting up with all my shortcomings and excesses. I love you. I will forever love you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me in singing this God song to praise the Lord.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just listened to the 35th inaugural lecture of Adekunle University titled, "Let's use what are to solve our own problems, adopting an ethnocentric English models in school." It was delivered by Professor Uriel of Okunrinmeta. Let's give him a good applause. Well, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to say that whenever inaugural lecturer stands before the microphone here, there is always a spirit. And that spirit, I'm sure Mr. Vice Chancellor knows much about it. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to invite to the microphone the Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Okunrinmeta, for his closing remarks. Mr. Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have just listened to the 35th inaugural lecture of our university, ably delivered by Professor Uriel, Okunrinmeta. Let me thank you for this lecture. You have done justice. And the lecture also reminded us of the various interventions we have done in the area of English language and linguistics. We appreciate you. But from all indications, since there is a correlation between English language and grammar, Professor Okunrinmeta introduced drama in the course of delivering his inaugural lecture. And so, one of these days, asked him to move to the Department of Performing Arts. So, Prof, thank you very much. We enjoy your inaugural lecture. But the centric English model that you are professing here, examples that you have suggested or recommended, and also forwarded to the Federal Ministry of Education. That should be part of what we take away from such inaugural lectures. Recommendations to go to government for implementation. And I want to recommend this as one of them. Let me also use this opportunity to thank and appreciate some of our guests who have attended this inaugural lecture. High Chief, Birini Bofa. Is representing the Akadaka of AAUA Kingdom. Thank you. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome. Welcome. To Paul, Elefa Ebi, Okunrinmeta, representing the Okunrinmeta family. Thank you, sir, for coming. Thank you very much. High Chief Dr. Felix George. Thank you for coming. Thank you, sir. Barrister and Honorable Justice Kem, family of the inaugural lecturer. Understand you are here. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome. Barrister Eric. You're Yes, I know how to pronounce that because he's my neighbor. You're welcome. Barrister Eric is the director of the State Public Service Commission. Mrs. Aduo Oluboka, Precious. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Ebi Okunrinmeta. Ebi. Is it the family? Okay, all right. Ebi Okunrinmeta. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, especially the recognized wife of the inaugural lecturer. Yes. Tolayefa, Uriel, Okunrinmeta. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for taking care of Prof. And the children, Charles Okunrinmeta, Marvelous Okunrinmeta. Thank you so much. And the grandchild, Arike Hosseini. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also recognize His Royal Majesty Tele Ogunwoye Owa Olusin Iwaroka. Thank you, Kabiyesi. Chief Bolon Rochas Owa Lucy Iwaroka. Thank you very much. Let me especially recognize the president of the Adébíyí University Alumni Association, who is here present, Dr. Uriel Gabriel. Thank you, President, for coming. Thank you. Recognize all other members of the party of the inaugural lecturer. I can see Yeya and his wife. Dr. Zizi Logo. Yes, I can see you there. And the other members of the family, immediate and extended. Our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Omar, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Professor Uriel, thank you for coming, sir. Thank you. The former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Mrs. Uriel, Yepsi, Adibowale, thank you very much, ma'am. Let me appreciate all our distinguished professors. You have provided leadership, and we appreciate you for that. Professor Afolala, Director of Academic Planning, Professor Adibola, former Dean of Environmental Design, Professor Mrs. Fashoranti, former Dean, Faculty of Social Science, Professor Okunrinmeta, yes, Faculty of Social Science, former Dean of Affairs, and I think you should sit down here, Dr. Uriel. You should be sitting down here. Professor Busui Nepesi, Faculty of English, Professor Abe, thank you for coming. Professor Lolo Shakin, thank you for coming. HOD Philosophy, Dr. Tayo, thank you. Thank you for coming. Professor Fagbemi, thank you, sir. HOD Science and Technology, thank you. Professor Ayan of Health Education, yes. The HOD of Nursing Science, Dr. Mrs. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming. Okay, that's Professor Mrs. Ajidaun. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Dr. Aladolekun, thank you very much. It's been a long time. You are welcome, sir. That's Professor Sule. Thank you for coming. Professor Adejoro. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Dr. Professor Ayeni. Yes, you're welcome. Professor Hassan, thank you, you're welcome. Professor Lani, I cite you. Professor Akiruli, thank you very much for coming. And that's Dr. Laogu. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Professor Ajidam, thank you. Of Eric. Yes. Professor Adade of Agric, thank you for coming. Professor Uriel of English, thank you for coming. Professor Uriel of English, thank you for coming. Professor Yoyaki, thank you for coming. Professor Adegede, thank you for coming. Professor Lalaye, thank you all for coming. Director CWS, Oshekita, you are welcome. Head of the Department of Chemistry, Professor Ashomo. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. FCA, I can see you are hiding. All right, thank you. Professor Ego, thank you for coming. Professor Oye, Zanos, Oye, Papa Oye, all right. Thank you all of you. Professor Fayo, yes. All right. I thank you, Professor Mrs. Fola, thank you, ma, for coming. The next person is Professor Baye of Geology. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. That's all? Okay, that's all. Is that all? Professor Olotua of my department. Professor Olumek, my son here, Sunday, as he left. All right. Professor Ogini, is that you? Yes, thank you. My dean. My dean is also here. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, all the deans of Waka, Professor Agaki, Odiboma Jokosiwaju. Thank you all. We recognize all of you. The deans of faculties, postgraduate school, and all other things, we especially thank you for coming and providing leadership. All of us here. The members of the ceremonies committee are doing wonderfully, organizing, or you have organized 2 programs within a couple of hours. I appreciate that. All our ushers, and finally, our boys brigades. I thank you all. The leadership of the Student Union and all members of staff of Ajibade University. Thank you for coming and God bless you all. Sorry, the next inaugural lecture will hold March. Yes, March by Professor E.O. Aladano of Department of Religion and African Culture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our great boys brigade. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this program. We thank you very much for making this program part of your afternoon. We now take, shall we all rise? Please don't leave the hall yet. We now take AAUA anthem and national anthem.